Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cool Tech channel. If I were to ask a question right now to the parents out there and say, do you want to protect your kids from the dangers of the world, from the harm of the world? I'm certain that I'm going to get a positive, a strong and loud yes, meaning that every parent wants to protect their kids from the dangers of the world. And without a doubt, one of those dangers is the internet, is the online content and online access that our kids have nowadays. Now, we cannot live without the internet, obviously. Our kids we cannot just tell them not to use the internet because that's not an option, and we cannot prevent them from using the internet because they need it. We live in a time and age where they need the internet, bottom line. But what we can do is limit that access. We can do what's called content filtering. And that's what I'm here to show you today. I'm going to demonstrate for you today how you as parents can do this like you are IT professionals. It's easy, it's simple. I'm going to show you a platform that allows you to filter the content and filter and control that access that your kids have to the outside world. I've gotten this complaint many times. I hear a lot of parents talk about it and express their concerns, and I thought I'd do a video where I can show you how you can do that for free using a platform. Before I demo and I show you how to do it, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, follow the content, and please, above all, make sure you're sharing this with other parents that have that concern. Let's try to spread positivity, try to spread helpful content that will help parents manage their levels of anxiety and stress because of the online exposure that their kids have. And with that said, let's get right into it.
All right, so the first step is going to be for you to bring up your web browser. So whether that's Edge or Chrome, so bring up your web browser and you can search for free OpenDNS. You're going to search that in Google, and then the first search result is basically that platform that I'm talking about, which is what we need for today. So you're going to click that. I'll try to keep a link in the description of the video so you can just easily go there. But for now, it's called OpenDNS. Just search for it and click on it, and you'll access this page here. Now, this is account creation. I'm not going to go through this. It's just simple account creation like you would with any other site where you have to create an account. So once you create your free account and you enter your email address, you're going to get a confirmation email to that email address. You'll click the link, you'll go through the motions, you'll confirm your registration or your sign up with OpenDNS, and then from there you're going to use that same email basically that you just created or used to create your account to log in. So you'll do that, you'll enter the password that you're using or that you used to create the account, you'll log in. Alright, so once you log in to OpenDNS, the first step is for you to add a network. And this network is basically your home, if that's where you want to apply this content filtering. Or let's say you're dropping off your kids to a center or a tutoring center or whatever, then it would be the IP address or the network of that environment or that network. And I'll show you where to get that information from in a second here. I keep saying kids, guys, but I mean if it's not kids, if it's someone else, I mean, this applies obviously to anyone and everyone. It's up to you who you're trying to apply this to or which environment, but I just keep saying kids because I feel like they're the most vulnerable and we care about them a lot, and this is probably they're the most relevant in this scenario, but it could apply obviously to anyone and everyone. So when you try to add a network, it's going to ask you for the IP address of the network, the public IP basically of your network. Now again, if you're doing this at home, then you want the IP address of your home. I may be shooting a video in the future of what an IP address means if you care to know what that is, or you're more than welcome to search and find out for yourself what that means. But for the purposes of this demo, we need basically to find the IP address. And the way to do that is basically you can just do a quick Google search. If I can type Google search or Bing search, whatever your favorite search engine is, and say what is my IP? Boom. So I'm presented with my public IP address for my network that I'm on right now. This, again, you'll do this in your own environment. So take this IP address. You can go to one of the other sites that gives you the IP address and other information, but just doing a simple Google search will also give you that information. So we'll go here and we will type in whatever Google gave us. So type in those numbers here in these little fields or octets or whatever, and you'll add this network. Now, OpenDNS is going to ask you to name the network. So just name it the friendly name or whatever name that makes sense. I'm just going to call it home. Done. And boom. Now, this is where the magic happens. So you'll click in here. You'll go here. And they already have these pre-configured, I guess, profiles like high, moderate, low that they have already done for you. You can use one of those. The one I like to use, this stuff is really powerful, guys. It's so cool. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about. So I like to use the custom option because I want to have more control. I want to control what I'm blocking. So if you do the custom option, then you can go through and block whatever you think is bad or you don't agree with or whatever. But this is where all that happens right here. Now you also have the option to block certain sites. So if you feel like there's a site that you want to block or you don't agree with or you don't want your kids to have access to, then you'll explicitly type that in here and say always block and add that domain. Yes, add it. Okay, now it's going to give you this little message here that says it could take 3 minutes. And yes, be patient. Be patient with it, please, because it does sometimes take a few minutes for this stuff to take effect. So don't think it's not working if you try to browse to YouTube. So for example, I should still be able to browse to YouTube until this takes effect. So so I'm still able to come to YouTube. So for it to take effect, we have to give this a few minutes, but we also have to do one more thing. So check this out. One more step, okay? Bear with me. I don't want to make this very long. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. You're going to bring up your control panel. So you'll type in control panel here, bring up your control panel, go to network and internet, go to network and sharing center, go to your Ethernet adapter if that's what you're using. If you're using your Wi-Fi connection, then you'll click that and configure your Wi-Fi. In this case, I'm using Ethernet, so that's the one I'm going to click. And I'm going to go to properties. And basically, I'm going to select this option right here that says Internet Protocol version 4. Double click that. And I need 2 IP addresses to go in here. I'll show you where to get those from. Browse back to your OpenDNS. I don't know if I clicked apply earlier. I'm just going to apply it just in case. I don't think I did. But after you're done basically with this, you're going to click apply, obviously. Takes a few seconds. Now go back to home, and here are those IP addresses that we need. Or you can also do a quick Google search, and it'll also give you the IP addresses of OpenDNS. So enter those right here: 208.67.222 and 208.67.220.220. Once that's done, click OK, OK, close. Now, technically, we are all done. We have configured our computer, whether, again, it's your kid's computer, whatever computer that you're doing this on, you're done with the technical piece of this. I recommend, after you're done doing all of this, is to reboot the computer. So give it a quick reboot. All right, so once you've rebooted your computer and it's back up again and you've logged in, you're going to go to your web browser, and here's what you should expect to see. So what you should expect to see, and I would give this a few minutes. I mean, I really mean it. So if after you reboot, I would give it a few minutes, like maybe walk away or do something and come back, because this is not going to take effect immediately. OpenDNS will take a few minutes for it to take effect. So what you should expect to see once it does take effect is basically it's going to block whatever site you configured earlier for it to block. whether it's explicitly spelled out like this address here, www.youtube.com, which is one of the sites or the only site that for demonstration purposes, I added earlier, but also any category. So any of those categories that we checked off, anything under those categories will also be blocked. So this is what you should expect to see, either something that says you're offline, or you'll get a message that says Cisco Umbrella, can't reach the site, or you'll get something that says OpenDNS, your administrator has blocked access to the site, something along those lines. Basically, the bottom line is your kid or whoever you apply this to will not be able to access those sites that you are basically blocking. Now, that takes care of the OpenDNS, and you're pretty much done. Now, for extra measure, I do want to show you one more thing. So just in case your kid is extra savvy or technically savvy, or they do some research online because they're really bothered by this block, they may be able to undo those Ethernet DNS settings that we applied earlier. And if they do that, then OpenDNS will obviously not take effect, and it won't block anything. So for extra measure, what I would do is I would go here to what's called group policy and block access to control panel. So right now they will have access to control panel. So to prevent them from accessing control panel, just bring up this group policy editor, and under user configuration and under administrative templates, go to control panel and double click this prohibit access to control panel in PC settings, and change it from its default not configured to enabled. Okay, so again, it's not configured by default. Change that to enabled. Basically, we're telling it we're enabling prohibition and access to control panel and PC settings. So once you do that and you apply, check this out. So now if they try to go to control panel, they're going to get this message that says the operation or this operation has been canceled, blah, blah, blah. So basically, they're not going to be able to go in and change those configuration settings to bypass your block to basically the sites and everything else we did in OpenDNS. Because again, if they undo those Ethernet configuration settings earlier, they'll be able to access again, and basically it's as if you haven't done anything at all. So that basically concludes this demonstration of how to configure OpenDNS from beginning to end.
Alright everybody, this brings us to the end of the video for today. I hope you found a lot of value in this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and like I said, please share this content, share this video with other parents that you think will be able to put this to use and will find also some benefit and value. And until I see you next time in another video, thank you so much and take care everybody. Bye.